Hey guys, now that I've got this thing turned around, I want to do a review of my Newport Vessels 46-pound thrust trolling motor. It's been about 2 years since I installed it, and I'm almost at the point where I'm going to have to replace it, and I want to show you why. I use a trolling motor to get from one spot to another spot, and I usually run it at top speed. Well, I noticed that it was starting to slow down, and it's not my battery, because I have a lithium iron phosphate battery, and it supplies a steady voltage and current. I don't know why, but I reached below my seat where all my wires come out of my box, and the wires were very warm, too warm. And so I figured, well, I've got a break in my line somewhere. I've got a connection that is loose or something like that, because increased resistance is going to cause heat. A couple of days later, I set up my trolling motor so I could run it at full load. I ran it in a garbage can full of water, and I found that I have had several spots in my wires that were getting warm. So that kind of tells me that I've got maybe a motor problem that's starting, and I want to show you what I think is happening, and I think I'm going to be replacing this trolling motor fairly quickly. I bought this motor because it said it could be used in salt water, but I'm not sure that's true. As you can see there, all of the paint has come loose from the skeg portion, and some of that is wear, but not up in here. And also, I don't know if you can see that very well, but all the paint is coming loose here and here. Now, I had to replace one freshwater motor that I was using, Endure, after about 3 years, and I'm seeing the same things I saw with that motor. A lot of rust in this area right here. Water eventually got into it and the motor died. And as you can see, I've got a lot of oxidation there. Now, I'm not getting any rust up in this area anywhere. It's only on the lower end of the motor. So I don't know what's going on there, but that is definitely a problem. This didn't occur because of the lack of my care. I'm very meticulous on how I take care of things. The trolling motor has always been washed down. My trailer is always washed down. I wash down the kite very good. So it's not my fault that this is happening. There's something else going on here, maybe some galvanic corrosion or whatever. So what's my overall opinion of this trolling motor? It's a good trolling motor. As far as I'm concerned, from my standpoint, there are two negatives, and I haven't mentioned the second one yet. The first one, of course, is the rusting. The second one is the noise level. After I added this trolling motor and was doing a test on it, it was one of the first things that I commented on. With the wind, 4.7 miles per hour. But the one thing I'm noticing, and it's very apparent, is that this motor seems to me like it's making more noise. It's louder, has a louder hum than my old motor. Regarding the noise of this trolling motor, when you've got a camera mounted on something solid on a kayak, and when you're editing the video and you look at the soundtrack, you can tell when this motor comes on. Overall, would I recommend this trolling motor? If you're using it in fresh water and it's not going to be exposed to salt like this one was. Now, I'll admit, now I go fishing a lot. in the 2 years or so, probably 100, 125 trips. So I use it probably more than a lot of people would. So that might have something to do with it. But still, it should not be rusting like that. This motor does have a lot of torque. And I like torque because it gets you out of strong currents, moving tides, fast moving tides. If you got torque in your motor, you can plow right through that and get to where you're going. So that concludes my review. So if you have any questions or comment, please leave them below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Thank you.